Winning Blueprint presents.
5 minutes or less.
Had so much success with it before, I'm back with it again. 5 minute or less series. This time, the 5 minute or less schedule release series. And I'm here with the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me here with the Dallas Cowboys in the 5 minute or less schedule release. Got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So anytime I look at a schedule, the first thing I like to do is look at primetime games. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. They're a big name brand in the National Football League. So you know the Cowboys are going to get some primetime games. Looking at the schedule, what do you know? The Cowboys have 5 primetime games. What did you expect? You look at Thursday night. You look at Thursday, and of course, Thanksgiving. We know the Cowboys are going to get that. They have the Oakland Raiders coming to town on Thanksgiving. So you look at Sunday Night Football. You racked up 3 of these babies. And that's primetime football. That's big boy football, Sunday Night Football. It doesn't get much better than that. And you got 3 of them. So you look at week 1, Giants, at home. Wow. That's a statement right there. Last year, you went to New York and found a way to win and crashed their little Super Bowl winning party. Can you find a way to duplicate that success early on in the season, getting a win, a tough one, at home against a team that has your number in the Giants? We're going to see. You look at week 6, Washington coming to Big D. That's another tough game. 2 early in the season divisional matchups for the Dallas Cowboys. Got to see if they can get it done on Sunday Night Football against the Washington Redskins, a team that went into Dallas and was able to win on Thanksgiving. See if the Cowboys can exact a measure of revenge. You look at week 10 at New Orleans on Sunday Night Football. So Sean Payton playing against his old chums in Dallas. It's going to be fun. Rob Ryan, no longer the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys. He's now going to be playing against his ex-mates. Going to be a lot of fun. Cowboys have to finally go on the road for a Sunday night tilt as the first 2 were at home. You look at Monday Night Football. Week 14 at Chicago. So you got to go to Soldier Field to take on the Bears. And again, this is a team that you played on Monday night last year. You had them at home. They disgraced you at home. Now you got to find a way to return the favor. Go to Chicago and Soldier Field and beat up on the Chicago Bears. Let's see if you can have that happen this season. You look at divisional games. We talk about the Giants. Week 1, you got them at home. We already talked about that. Week 12, you got to go to New York and try to secure a victory. You were able to do it last year. Can you duplicate that success in 2013? Washington, the NFC East champions. You got them coming to your place on Sunday Night Football. Week 6, we talked about that already. Week 16, got to go to Washington. Much like last year, late in the season, you got to go to D.C. Can you find a way to win? You were not able to do so last year. Let's see if you can turn that around this season. Philly. You got Philly at home, week 17. You got to go to Philly in week 7. We'll come back to that in a second. So no anomalies. And anomalies on schedules for me are 3 games on the road consecutively or at home, 3 out of 4 on the road or at home, or the rare occasion of 4 out of 5 at home or on the road. The Cowboys are one of the few teams, one of the few lucky teams in the league. They don't have an anomaly on their schedule. That means they don't have a stretch where they play 3 or 4 on the road or at home, no 4 out of 5 at home or on the road, and no 3 straight on the road or at home. So that's a huge deal. The Cowboys are one of the lucky teams, and there's only about 3 or 4 of them that don't have some sort of anomaly on their schedule. The Cowboys are one of them. You look at your bye week, week 11. So that's huge. That's a big and far cry from last year when your bye week was relatively early in the season. Most teams want a later bye in the year. You get week 11. I think that's a little late, but you'll take it. That's a solid time in the year to have a bye week. You can't ask for much more than that if you are the Dallas Cowboys. You look at Kotze, and Kotze for me is circle on the schedule games. And for the Cowboys, look, week 17 at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. You don't know what the Eagles are going to be, but for the last 2 years, week 17 has meant win and you're in, win and you win a division, lose and you're out. So for the Cowboys, that's a big deal. That's a huge matchup. And anytime you play the Redskins, anytime you play the Giants, it's a huge deal. You got both of them on prime time on Sunday Night Football. So week 1, week 6 are both circled on the calendar games for me. So both of those are coatsy games for me as well. But week 17 for me, if you're a Cowboys fan, has to be big because you finally get a home game to end the season. And that's where the timeout is. Timeout. Timeout. Every schedule to me has a timeout where you have to take a step back and look. And for me, the Cowboys finally wrap up the season at home. For the last 2 years, you had to go on the road and beat a divisional foe to win the division. You weren't able to do it. This year, you got a home game against the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 17. You have to be rejoicing over that news. You hear that sound in the background, that means that was the Dallas Cowboys schedule release in 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less.